Hi guys, so we are currently in the midst, currently in the midst of cooking stuffed pepper soup. Daniel is getting ready to brown the ground beef that we bought. So it's a whole pound. And then I already did the white rice. I actually accidentally left it on the heat, on the burner a little bit too long. So it's a little brown on the bottom, but it'll gain a little bit more moisture when it sits in the soup for a little while. But I'm currently chopping veggies right now. I have my onion done. I have all of my yellow pepper done. I'm working on my red pepper, and then I still have my green pepper to go. We have both cans of soup, not soup. What am I saying? Can of tomato sauce, can of diced tomatoes. So that's ready to go. This is the recipe I am working off of. So as a quick little rundown, what you'll need is a pound of ground beef, a tablespoon of olive oil, 1 medium onion. I chose a yellow onion, 3 bell peppers, red, yellow, and green, 3 cloves of garlic. I'm just using pre-minced garlic, 1 can of diced tomatoes, 1 can of tomato sauce, 4 cups of beef broth. I can snag that out of here. Oh, you hear that? You hear that sizzling? That's the chicken broth. Woo!
Chicken broth, you mean ground?
No, I grabbed the chicken broth on accident. Beef broth, and then 1 cup of cooked rice. So this whole saucepan is full of rice. I used basmati white rice. It's just the only white rice we really had. And then seasoning wise, you'll need some Italian seasoning, paprika, black pepper. Just do a pinch of salt, and I'm doing a pinch of parsley. So you're going to want to pre-cook, obviously, your rice and your ground beef. And then you're going to saute your veggies. So I will show you guys the veggie saute here in a minute. Daniel, like I said, is cooking the ground beef. Why do you have tongs? Oh. You have to chunk it up.
I know.
Oh.
I will.
Okay.
For Pete's sake, just let me work.
We are using a big
the kids say, let me cook.
A big nice burn mark on the side of my pot, but a big just like pot for my soup. So I'm gonna get back to chopping these veggies, and I will show you when it starts to come together here in a minute. Okay guys, so he got the ground beef done. It is currently in the pot. I am trying to soften the veggies. So you do just stick them in a skillet, and let them soften. And can you get me the minced garlic out of there, dear? Yep. So I am just going to try to get, this skillet's not big enough, to be honest, for all these veggies, but I'm trying to make it work. Let me show you guys. I don't want to show you my dirty stove, but there is our lovely veggies. There, you didn't see my dirty stove. So somebody else could comment on that too. So you have to just get these softened up a little bit. So I'm just using the same skillet that Daniel browned the ground beef in, because it's all going into the same pot anyway. Plus I'm able to use like the grease from the ground beef and put it in there. What you doing? Oh, eating a strawberry. So I'm going to try to get these all browned up, and then I will pop back on here when I do the minced garlic, and I will show you guys what happens after that. So BRB. Okay, so I currently have everything. I have the veggies cooking. They're going to take a little time to soften up. I have not finished this, obviously. Ice is all melted in it, but you know. So veggies are kind of softening up. Once they're all soft and like super fragrant, I will throw the garlic in there, and I'm only going to cook that for about 1 to 2 minutes, just to where the garlic gets fragrant. But we don't burn it, because we don't ever want to burn our garlic, because then it loses all of its flavor. So, while that cooks, so like I said, everything in the pot is ready. 4 cups of beef broth is literally the whole box. So I will be using the whole box for that. And then I need to get my seasonings. So we need paprika. we need, if I can find it, there's the parsley flakes. We need these. And then we need Italian seasoning. I think it's up here. Yep, there it is. Some Italian seasoning. And then my salt and pepper are right here. So, which I need to refill my salt here soon. So I'm gonna like continue to fluff these up and then I'll be right back. So I just did 2 heaping tablespoons of minced garlic. I didn't do exactly what is said. You can buy fresh garlic and cut it. I used to have fresh garlic. I just don't anymore. So I just did 2 heaping tablespoons of minced garlic. Remember that you don't want to overcook your garlic just because you don't want it to burn. Then garlic really tends to lose its flavor when it's burnt. So I would do this for only about a minute. Zhuzh it in with the veggies, and then call it good and dump it in the pot. Okay, now to the pot, I'm going to go ahead and add my beef broth. You're going to add all of it because a box is typically about 4 cups. So you are going to add all of the beef broth. It's draining. I'm going to get that drained. Come on. Okay. And then we're going to toss that in our bag over here. And then we are going to go in with our can of diced tomatoes. Careful not to splash that everywhere like I just did. And then we are going to go in with our can of tomato sauce. So throw that in there. And then we are going to go in with our seasonings. Now, I am not a follow by the book seasoning person, okay? I shake and shake until I feel that it's seasoned enough. I'm not going to add too much salt just because of the beef broth, so I'm just going to do a couple shakes in there, nothing crazy. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my pepper. Now, I like a little bit of pepper in my stuff, so I'm going to add just enough. And then we're going to unscrew the cap on the Italian seasoning here. Unscrew the cap on that. We're going to shake, 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 just enough of that till we feel like it's desirable. That's the one good thing about cooking is you can do whatever you want. It's not a science like baking is. Now we're going to go, sorry, I'm trying to unscrew this with one hand. Now we're going to go in with the paprika, just a shake, shake of that till you feel it's necessary. I think we're going to go in with a little bit more of the Italian, dash more of the paprika, and a little bit more pepper. And now I'm going to, oh guys, I need to set you down. And then I'm going to shake, shake, shake the parsley flakes in. I don't want to do a ton. That's the one thing with dried herbs. You always want to add them in. Now you can garnish with fresh parsley. I'm choosing to use the dried because I don't have any fresh on hand. So you want to add your dehydrated herbs like this or oregano or anything like that to whatever you're cooking first that allows them to rehydrate. So I'm going to use a big old spatula and I'm going to give that a very good stir. So that way everything is incorporated. All the tomato portions are incorporated. All of my onion and pepper portion is incorporated. Same with the ground beef. All of it's together. And we're mending those seasonings and that flavor. Okay. Let's see. So now I have to simmer. I have to bring it to a boil first. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat on again. This shouldn't take very long to heat up because this burner was already on. I'm going to turn this on. And then once I get it to a boil, you just have to bring it to a boil, okay? Once I get it to a boil, I'm going to turn it down. I'm going to let it boil for probably about a minute. Turn it down to a simmer, and then we're going to simmer it for 20 minutes, okay? And then once it's done simmering for 20 minutes, we get to add this bad boy into the pot. And then we will simmer that, mix it, and then simmer it for another 5 minutes. And then it'll be done, and it'll be ready to serve. And then I'll show you guys how it looks. So, in the meantime, while this boils and simmers, we're going to take a little hiatus, and then we'll be back when we go to put the rice in. So, see you in a few. You hear her boiling? She's boiling. Just dropped her temp. She's simmering now, or will be simmering here in about 30 seconds. But, yeah. So, we're going to let that simmer for about 20 minutes. And so, right now it's 7, so I can time it at about 7:20. I will be able to come back over here and put the rice in the pot. And then we will go from there. I got to take out, like I said, I accidentally was a dingbat and burnt a couple pieces to the bottom of the pot. So there's a couple hard pieces of rice in here, but that's my fault for not watching. So, but anyway, we'll see you guys when we come to put the rice back into the pot. Okay, it's officially been 20 minutes that this has been boiling. So now, well, I don't know what I'm saying, not boiling, simmering. I'm now going to dump the rice in. Well, I'm not gonna dump it in. Oh man, I really did burn the bottom of some of this.
It's alright.
Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna pull some of this off here. So it's not, I don't want it to be like crunchy or nothing. And then with that, we are going to let it simmer a little while longer. I want to make sure I dump this in and it doesn't splash everywhere. So I'm hoping that with it being re-added to the that's what I get for not paying attention. I never claimed to be the perfect cook. Just put it that way. It took me a long time to actually learn how to cook. And not just like, I don't know how to put it. Not cook, but I wasn't necessarily taught how to cook. My mom didn't do a whole lot of cooking when we were growing up. She did, but it wasn't like, it was just basic things. My grandma taught me how to cook a lot, but I had to basically, like, when I got married, basically had to learn on my own. So now I'm going to actually turn the heat up on this just a tiny bit so it simmers just a little bit more. But I am going to let this simmer for another 5 minutes. It'll be 7:30 by then, and then I will show you the finished product, and then Daniel and I are going to chat out. So, yeah, I will see you guys back here in about 5-ish minutes. Okay, just got my bowl. It looks kind of funky in the pot just because the ladle's in here, but she looks delicious, guys. So I got 2 heaping ladles full. So that's it. That's how we do that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I do believe the broccoli cheese soup will be next. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and we will chit chat with you guys in the next one. See you soon. Bye.